Right now at noon, authorities bring additional charges against a brother in connection to a murder investigation.
And we've got those scattered showers on the way. We'll take a look at that and how the rest of this day is shaping up coming up.
Plus, the federal agency OSHA is reevaluating proposed regulations for fire departments. Look at how this could affect local departments in the 4 states.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, time might be running out for a Missouri death row inmate whose case has sparked some second thoughts. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Now, yesterday, the Missouri Supreme Court refused to stop the execution of Marcellus Williams. In 2001, he was convicted of the 1998 stabbing death of former newspaper reporter Felicia Gale. Williams has always maintained his innocence. Prosecutors may be reconsidering his case. In a rare move, St. Louis's top prosecutor filed a motion to vacate the conviction in January. Currently, the only person who can stop the execution is Missouri Governor Parson. Now, he issued a statement yesterday saying he does not plan to do so, citing 15 hearings that allowed Williams' conviction to stand. Now, Williams is scheduled to die by lethal injection tonight at 6 p.m. unless the U.S. Supreme Court intervenes with a stay of execution. One of 2 brothers connected to the murder of a man in Jasper County, Missouri, is now formally charged with violent crimes in the Kansas City area. Authorities say the suspects are 2 illegal immigrants from Honduras, Jose Cantorero Benitez and Aiden Iman Cantorero Benitez. Now, investigators believe they were headed to Oklahoma to buy meth, but got stranded in Joplin and were out of money. Authorities believe they then fatally shot 63-year-old Oklahoma resident Jesse Gilmore at the Road Ranger gas station on Joplin South Prigmore Avenue and stole his car. Now, investigators believe they disposed of the body in a ditch alongside Interstate 44. The 2 brothers were later arrested for separate crimes not related to the Jasper County murder in Kansas City and Independence, Missouri. Jose Benitez yesterday made his first court appearance in Jackson County, Missouri for a shooting and attempted carjacking there. The charges include first-degree assault, vehicle hijacking, and armed criminal action. At last report, the victim in that case, a woman, was in critical condition. In a separate case, he's also accused of pistol whipping a woman in Kansas City, Missouri. The Jasper County Prosecutor's Office had already filed charges against Aiden Benitez, including first-degree murder, robbery, and abandonment of a corpse. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office expects additional charges against Jose Benitez as well. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we still have that chance for showers slowly beginning to roll into the area, and ahead of that, still dealing with cloudy skies after a very foggy start to the day. Of course, that's MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. Our camera downtown Pittsburgh showing cloudy skies. We've had a little bit of sunlight break through here and there, but not really all that much. Here's the Skywatch Storm Tracker, and here are those showers as they're starting to just get in to our far northwestern counties up around the Burlington area. These showers will continue to push off to the south and east, and we could get a rumble of thunder or 2 in with some of those as well. Yesterday, not a lot of movements in the temperature. 62 is where we started. 66 is where we ultimately made it. We are going to be a bit warmer today. We're 69 in Joplin, 67 in Pittsburgh, and around the region. It's been a little cloudier, a little denser up here as well. So we've got mid-upper 60s, and further south, a few less clouds here and there have allowed a little more sunshine, a little more warming to take place, and we are into the low to mid 70s to start the day. I apologize, there's a fly and he seems to be very attracted to me. So we'll have those isolated showers, a couple of thunderstorms possible as we head into the evening. Those chances become considerably more isolated by late evening, and by about midnight, 1 a.m., those will be on their way out of here, and our temperatures gradually falling back into the low 60s. We've got lows going back into the 50s tonight. It's going to be a little bit warmer for us tomorrow, and then we are watching the chances for more rainfall as we head into the weekend. Details on that and the full forecast coming up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, OSHA says they're reevaluating proposed regulations that would impact fire departments. KOAM Samantha Walker explains why some departments and state officials are speaking out against the proposed rules.
It's really crucial for the volunteer fire services to be able to continue to operate. Earlier this year, OSHA released its proposed regulations that would impact fire departments, especially those made up of volunteers. The regulations could have big financial impacts on departments, such as the rule that would disallow trucks over 15 years old. For fire chiefs like John Lilburn, the proposal is concerning.
The citizens of my area would have to make a decision if they wanted to continue to have fire protection. If we wanted to have fire protection and meet those standards, our budget would have to go from, like I said, roughly 20,000 to over 150,000, which is going to put a much more strong burden on the taxpayers.
And it's not just fire departments that have concerns. Kansas state representatives are also speaking out about the impacts these regulations could have. In August, Kansas Senator Jerry Moran called on the Department of Labor to exclude volunteer fire departments like Galesburg from the proposal. Now OSHA says they're reevaluating the regulations and are considering doing just that. Moran has released a statement following OSHA's announcement. He says he believes it's a great first step and encourages others to continue speaking out on the proposal. Lilburn says that's exactly what he plans to do.
I am speaking out against this because I want to make sure that we still have a future for the fire service in the 4 states, in rural America. Because I really see this as a move to eliminate some of the rural departments out there.
He says even if OSHA exempts completely volunteer departments, there are still concerns not being fully addressed.
They're not addressing rural departments. They're also not addressing departments such as the Girard Fire Department. Girard has a full-time person on duty, and then the rest of their staff is made up with volunteers. So they're not addressing, does the full-time staff have to meet the requirements but the part-time staff doesn't, or the volunteer staff doesn't? Those things are, there's no answers to those questions.
For now, he plans on continuing to follow what OSHA is planning with its proposal. Reporting in Galesburg, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
OSHA is encouraging those impacted by the regulations to speak out at their public rulemaking hearing starting November 12th. Well, coming up, Native American organizations come together in Northeast Oklahoma to help ensure their voices are heard on Election Day. And later, we're making baked custard rice pudding in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, one big issue this election season is immigration and border security. We talked with the Republican and Democratic candidates for U.S. Congressional District 2 of Kansas to get their thoughts.
The U.S. House of Representatives, more than a year ago, passed additional legislation to try to strengthen border security, and it's been languishing in the Senate. So I think we do the border first, period, end of story. Once that's done, so that we know who's coming and going and we have control over who's coming and going, then I do think we need to have a much more thoughtful conversation about what are the right immigration levels for a country that's built of immigrants in terms of visa, who gets to come, who gets to go.
We talked with the candidates on a wide range of issues, and you can see those complete unedited interviews on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Northeastern Oklahoma Native American organizations are collaborating to host Native voter registration events. They plan to go to other locations, including healthcare facilities and festivals, to help people get signed up. Now, yesterday, they were outside of the Intertribal Council in Miami helping people register. They want to make it easier for people to check their voter registration status, especially because thousands of Oklahoma voters were recently purged from voter roll and may not be aware that they need to re-register. The organizations want to make it easier for Native Americans to use their voice and be represented.
Everybody should vote. You know, you don't have a right to complain if you don't get out and vote. So, you know, we want everybody to get registered, and we want them to participate. And because there's a lot of important things.
Well, their goal is to increase voter turnout, especially because Oklahoma has one of the lowest rates of voter turnout in the United States. Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Rice isn't only for serving as a side dish or for throwing out weddings. Today, we're turning it into a to-die-for dessert. To die for.
And we've got those cloudy skies out there. It's going to be a bit warmer, and then we've got more rain after today. We'll have a look at that forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we've had cloudy skies out there. We dealt with dense fog across a good portion of the region this morning. And as you can see on our downtown Pittsburgh camera, getting a little bit of sunshine in between the clouds. And that'll be just enough to give us a little bit of a warmer temperature than what we saw yesterday across the area. Skywatch Storm Tracker, though, take a look at all these clouds, and they just get thicker the further west you go. And here's some of those showers. So they're stretching from Salina all the way back through just north of Emporia and near Ottawa. So south of Topeka, south of I-70. And we do have a few isolated showers trying to get ahead of this game, but some of this not reaching the ground. This will be, though. All of this activity will be shifting southeast along this boundary, and as it does, it will bring a chance for some scattered showers and maybe even a rumble of thunder or two in there. The good news is, at least for us, no severe weather is expected, and we're not going to get a lot of rain out of this, but some rain is better than no rain. So we'll put this down the road on the future track. We'll have some of those isolated to scattered showers, and again, maybe a thunderstorm or two out there. Now, those will start to clear out, but we are looking still at the possibility of maybe some redevelopment right along or near the I-70 corridor late this evening, and some of that could make it into the northeastern portions of our viewing area out here. But as you can see also, by about midnight, 1 a.m., that activity is done, over, and gone, and we'll have decreasing clouds as we go through the overnight hours. Heading into our Wednesday, we'll have a northerly breeze behind this boundary, and we'll have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. And because we'll have a little more sunshine, we'll manage to get a little bit warmer. I want to talk to you about later this week. So we get into our Thursday. Another pretty decent looking day out there, but see these clouds out here? So what we've got is a couple of things working hopefully in our favor for some rain. We are looking at, unfortunately for those along the Gulf and into Florida, a hurricane, and forecasts suggest that it could be a particularly strong hurricane. But that hurricane, once it makes landfall later this week, is going to end up interacting or potentially interacting with a low pressure system that's down in the south right now. And because of that, all that extra moisture gets drawn in. And so we're looking at that possibility at some point late this week, depending on those interactions and the exact track of the hurricane once it gets developed, the chances for rain increasing across the area. The thing, though, about the rain as we head toward the end of the week, a lot of variables still in play. If we see it, there's two possibilities. One, we'll get some rain, which is what we need. The other concern, though, is depending on how this interaction works and exactly which path the hurricane takes, we could get some potentially very heavy rainfall, which could lead to flooding concerns across the area. So something to keep an eye on as we head toward the end of this week. Right now, though, mostly cloudy in Joplin, 69. We head back over to Pittsburgh again. A little bit of sunshine trying to sneak in out there. 68 is where we sit. Winds are calm, and around the region, we haven't had as much cloud cover across the southern portion of our area, so parts of northeast Oklahoma and into Arkansas, even southern Missouri, a little warmer, low mid 70s, the rest of us mid and upper 60s for the most part at this point this afternoon. All right, highs expected to top out about the mid 70s for us out there. Mostly cloudy skies, and again, some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Decreasing clouds overnight, still cool, mid 50s out there. As we head into our Wednesday, whoa, too many buttons at once. We're looking at temperatures a little warmer, upper 70s, getting closer to 80 degrees out there. Partly cloudy skies, but again, behind the boundary, we'll have a north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. And then we deal with whatever is going to happen with the system. Now, the data seems to suggest we're going to get rain from it as we head toward the end of this week and into the weekend. The question, again, is going to be just how much rain we get out of it, whether it's just enough to help us out or if it could potentially cause problems. It'll cool us down to low 70s for Friday and Saturday. And then a bumpy ride on temperatures, mid to upper 70s heading into Monday. Another boundary comes through. No rain at this point, but it makes it cold. 40s Monday night. And then we're looking at highs in the upper 60s Tuesday. And then we could even get back to the 80s by the end of next week. So, but the big thing that we're keeping it on right now is just that hurricane and its potential impact that it could have on rain chances. We need the rain. Our drought situation not good.
Right.
But we don't need so much rain that we get flooding concerns, because that doesn't do anybody any good.
All righty, well, we'll have to see. Thanks, Chris. Stick around. We're making baked custard rice pudding in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, Howard is showing us how to make baked custard rice pudding in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If there's one dessert that seems to have lots of variations, it has to be rice pudding. While some of us like it super creamy, almost like vanilla pudding with rice in it, others prefer a baked version that's more like a custard. And whether we keep it simple, with or without raisins, or dressed up with all sorts of add-ons, we can't go wrong. We can also change it up by simply switching out the type of rice. Traditionally, we use long grain white rice since it yields a fluffier consistency and the grains don't stick together. But if you prefer it thicker and stickier, then I suggest going with jasmine or arborio rice. Now, if you really want the fragrance of the rice to come through, there is no better rice than basmati. Now for the one we're making today, we're keeping it pretty traditional. Whether you serve it piping hot right out of the oven or chilled, I know you'll love its creamy custard-like texture. To get the recipe for our baked custard rice pudding, along with a few other options, all you have to do is go online. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an always in style way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Creamy?
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4 state market prices.
All right, so we've got a few scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms this evening across the area. Nice day tomorrow, upper 70s, partly cloudy, and then we're watching that what will eventually become a hurricane that could impact a low that could bring us some more rain chances as we head toward the end of the week. And as mentioned, we need the rain, but there's still some questions on the track as to whether or not we'll get just enough or too much as we head into the weekend.
Well, hopefully it's just enough. Thanks,
Certainly
Chris.
so.
And Dow, what do you have for us tonight?
Lots coming up at 5. For starters, September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. About 300,000 new cases are expected to be diagnosed this year. We're going to take a look at a new campaign from the American Cancer Society that's encouraging men to get tested for prostate cancer. Plus, the Quapaw Nation Language Department is looking to preserve the tribe's language by offering classes for beginners. We're going to hear about the importance of future generations learning the Quapaw language. And McKinley Elementary in Joplin receives a donation thanks to a partnership with the Subaru Loves Learning Initiative. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today, KOAM News at 5.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dow. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.